Welcome to the DKHizouse. We're glad you stopped by. If you are a returning member of the fam bam, thank you so much for your subscription. We're on the road to 1K. So please take time to hit that subscribe button. And also, if you like any parts of this video, like, share, and subscribe. Everything is alleged. Tea, gossip over here. Sometimes we do random talk, relationship talks, predictions, just everything. You just never know. So take everything with a grain of salt and do your own research. Okay, so today we're going to talk about food and our relationship with food and yeah, um and how that relates to everything else that we deal with in our regular everyday life. So for the longest, especially since I've been adulting, I have definitely turned into a bit of a foodie, meaning I like trying new food things, and the more the better, the happier I am, and the more exotic, the more different it is. I'm like, oh, I get to try that, especially if it's from another country, another place. I'm yum, 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 yum. And then here I am wondering why I'm gaining weight or whatever, and having harder times to lose the weight. You know what I'm saying? But I'm also learning, think about food as well, that, you can incorporate different things into your diet as you get older that help you with whether it's fasting, intermittent fasting, to smaller portion sizes, to different things like that, that will allow you to continue to enjoy the foods that you enjoy, but without all the stress and health issues that come along with it. Because recently, I have kind of came out of the foodie connoisseur like I am, but I realized that food is not everything to me like it used to be. That used to be my comfort, my passion, my happiness. But as I've gained weight, as I've had stomach issues and different things, I realized I have to adjust my attitude with food before I get adjusted real quick, real fast, and in a hurry. And that may or may not be something that I am interested in. If you don't know, food has everything to do with your health, from your mental health to your physical health. And if you will determine your need for medicine and different things like that. Food is how we get our nutrition, our substance on most occasions, and value. Well, a lot of it comes from our food intake. Meaning, if we choose to eat healthier foods, a lot of things, are healthy for us, opposed to if we decide to eat, junk food and stuff like that that's not as healthy. It also has an impact on our lives. So one thing that I have learned to do in my life is to be just very conscious and mindful of what I'm putting into my body and what I'm consuming and how I am consuming it and drinking or whatever. So I don't like to limit myself on anything because I consider myself very spree in what I do and what I experience. But I do, do things in moderation. Like, I'm not going to eat a whole piece in one sitting. I'm going to definitely have one or two slices. I'm not going to chug down a liter of soda. I'm going to do that with smaller sizes. So with everything, I feel like you have to have moderation, and then you also have portion control. Because I'm a person, if I can't have something, I'm going to think about it and feel like I want it more. So with that being said, I also had to look at my food intake. Normally I was breakfast, lunch, dinner. Now I've kind of doctored that to just eat when I'm hungry, when I need satisfaction. And a lot of times I have to analyze and be like, am I hungry, or is just because I want this because it looks good, smells good, tastes good? Because a lot of times I was just eating just because I like the way it looks, smell, tastes. And that's not a good reason to put food into your body, because food is your nourishment. So now, I've looked at it as, okay, well, not as a reward, not as this, just as I'm hungry. What can I eat right now in this moment to satisfy me? And I really started just eating smaller sizes as far as putting it into my mouth, because the bigger amounts that I put in my mouth, the less I chew it, and the more it gets stopped in my colon, my stomach, and causes a mess of distraction. I also eat slower now, opposed to eating fast. And I try not to eat and drink at the same time, even though that's something I'm still working on. But they say that that's not very good to do because your digestive systems and enzymes in your body cannot properly digest your food if you're having liquid and solid food going in at the same time. And that also helps with bloating and different digestive issues that you may have going on. But I'm still working on that. So I also, the portion that I have in my mouth is, I've decreased it and I decreased it. And I make sure I chew my food because, as somebody said, an old man said, you don't have teeth in your stomach, so you have to chew your food very well. And I try to get my food too close to the liquid as possible, if not, close to it, because I know food eventually breaks down. But I don't want that to sit in my stomach for years and years. And the way it sits in your stomach is when it's not broken down, because of all the preservatives and all the enzymes, different things that they have in food to keep it, preserved, alive, or whatever. That stuff will sit. And if you notice, there's some items that you could have, and it just sits there untouched, unscathed. Then you have some stuff that digests quicker and it could decompose quicker. I like to eat those things more so. And I like to look at how food is after it sits for a while. Is it hard? Is it clumpy? Is it, whatever, because that's what's going to eventually be in your body once it's sitting there for a while. If it's decomposing, that means it's going to decompose in you faster. If it's sitting there in hard clumps and it's hard as a rock, that's what's going to be in your system. So that's going to determine how you're going to have to chew it better and easier and so forth and so on. And of course, I definitely like to eat more fruits and vegetables and fish now, opposed to those steaks and those burgers and stuff like that, because beef takes longer to digest than fish and seafood, because of the way it breaks apart easily. You could really just, if you look at tuna fish, you could sit there and chew tuna fish with your teeth very easily, opposed to if you're chewing a steak, you got to crunch on it, cut it, break it down. So all that's in benefit into all the way you digest your food. So as you get older, as you look at your food choices, I would definitely oppose you to evaluate what you are consuming, how you are consuming it, and how you are digesting it before it goes down into your stomach, because gut health is contributed to your gut wealth and success, because food that's sitting there for years and years and years is making your stomach bloat, for one, make it pop open, fat, and it just sits there while you're piling on more and more and more and more in food. And if it's not broken down in a proper manner, it's going to sit there longer and cause you a lot of digestive symptoms and upsetness in your stomach. Like natural juices, natural smoothies are a lot more beneficial and healthier to you and your body. And they break down a lot easier, but you still getting that same taste, that same nutrition and benefits. And no, you're not going to go crazy if you don't eat 3 meals a day. But if you feel like your body wants 3 meals a day because you're hungry at breakfast, you're hungry at lunch, then definitely eat. But don't feel like, oh, because it's breakfast, I have to eat me something right now. Because that's not necessarily the case. Now you also have to look at your health issues. If you're low on certain areas and minerals, you may have to eat at certain times opposed to what your doctor says. And definitely talk to a doctor, physician, before taking any advice that I've said here today, because I'm not a physician or a doctor. So people who don't really appreciate their digestive and what goes into their body and their consciousness of what they're putting in their body, you'll see them gaining weight, becoming disheveled, this and that, and your body is not going to appreciate you or thank you and look as good as it can if you're not appreciating it, thanking it for what it does for you to get the nutrients that you have in the body. It's like a give and take. It's a win-win situation. So you definitely have to make sure that you are treating it appropriately and with respect, because it will also appropriately treat you with respect, with health and wealth that as well, to give you the nutrition that you need to sustain a lovely living life on this earth and this planet. And then, of course, it's a lot more easy to digest. The waste and toxins that are in your body will expel themselves naturally. And that's just how it is.